People who are no longer best friends with someone, what happened? I'm not completely sure. Our mothers have been besties since elementary school, and they had us a month apart, while we were night and day, personality-wise, and probably should have been the complete opposite. We were besties, too, closer than sisters, from birth until we were 25. She had gotten married a few years before, moved a couple hours away and had her first baby, so naturally, our dynamic had shifted some, but I was still under the impression that we were as close as ever. The night she called and told me that her life had changed, she no longer had time or energy for a friendship like ours, and that she pretty much just didn't want me in her life anymore. There was no falling out, we hadn't had a fight since we were teenagers, there was nothing that I could pinpoint, then or now, that led to her decision, but it broke my heart and I grieved the loss for years after. She slept with my then boyfriend. The most boring tragedy of my life. He tried to sleep with my wife. Knew him for 30 plus YRS when he tried to sleep with my wife. We just grew apart. I think I reached out to her once to ask how she was doing and didn't really get a response, so I just kind of decided that was that. After more than 20 years of being besties, she just ghosted me. After a year of not hearing from her, despite reaching out, I asked her husband if she was okay. He was confused because she claimed to be talking to me all the time. Whatever. It hurt for a while, but she honestly brought very little to my life in hindsight. We just grew apart and no longer had the same interests. I stopped paying. She got married and cut all contact with me. 20-year friendship tossed aside like a used napkin. I was in a group of friends who started bullying a person I knew out of nowhere. I told them I was not okay with that. They soon started hanging out without inviting me. I am still very glad I did what I did. Edit, typos. After high school ended, he became too busy. I invited him over every weekend, each time he said that he'd come, but didn't show up. After a year of him not coming, I stopped inviting him. When I stopped people-pleasing and set boundaries. My best friend was cheating on her boyfriend, who was also my friend. I told her she had to stop, tell him, or break up with him. She continued to cheat. One day he asked me if she was seeing someone else, and I couldn't lie. Years after that we hung out a few times, but obviously it was never the same. Don't remember that last time we spoke now. I lost 100 pounds. She didn't, and accused me of deliberately changing. Well, yeah. He became addicted to cocaine after his father died. It warped his personality, and he was constantly angry and bitter. He was unpredictable, and genuinely scared me because it felt that it would be very easy for him to do something that would ruin his life in an instant. Also refused any help offered. The only thing I could do was move on. Meth happened. I was in a horrific auto accident, coma for a week, ICU for a month. The person who was my closest friend never came to see me. When I finally got home, wheelchair-bound, when he came over his first question was what kind of drugs did they give me. It was supposed to be a joke, but I told him that we're done being friends and not to come back to my house ever again. That was 7 years ago. Edit, 17 years ago. Damn, I'm getting old. As to the support in the comments, I appreciate it. It was very difficult for me to sit there and tell the person that I no longer wanted to be friends and to leave and never come back. I was lucky to have support of close family, which helped ease the pain of losing a friend. I had a bunch of acquaintances that disappeared after my accident and during my recovery, so I took the position of good riddance. She just stopped talking to me in COVID. I was in her wedding and we had been roommates. But then she told me weekends were for her husband, which actually meant weekends were only for other couples. A mutual friend got married and didn't invite me to the wedding, and we never spoke again. She was an insufferable narcissist and I was too young to understand. He cheated on his wife and left her and their 2 kids. Long time ago when I was a teenager, was dependent on a substance, took too much and had a blackout. She had forgotten my birthday and I had a blackout and rage, called her multiple times. Forgot she was at work, she had a very professional job, and I don't even remember what I said or did. We never had contact again. I regret this every single day of my life. My heart breaks every time I think about it. I was just cleaning out the garage and found all the letters she had written to me, our entire friendship. I had saved every single one. I wish she could just let me apologize and explain where I was at in that moment, but I 100% respect her not being able to do that.